What's up, everybody? Welcome back to IGN's E3 2014 live show, and believe it or not, we've come to the final demo of day one of E3, and it's a big one. Paul, you're here to tell me about Driveclub.
I am indeed.
Oh,
yeah.
give me a hug. Hey, we made it. Day one in the books. USA, or whatever country you're from.
UK.
I didn't want to. Kes McDonald just walked by, former IGNer. Used to yell at me all the time because I'd say something about the British, and she'd be, I'm Scottish, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Virtually a neighbor.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Driveclub, though. Here it is. It's playing right now. Enough about our inner workings of relationships. Yeah. You made it to E3.
Second year in a row.
You have a release date.
October 7th.
You are in the home stretch of Driveclub. How do you feel?
Certainly are. Feels great.
Yeah.
We've polished it in every single area possible. The game looks better, sounds better, feels better, we've added more features, and it's just the ambitious experience that we wanted to deliver when we first kind of pitched Driveclub, when we first talked about it. You know, this socially connected racer where it's all about competing with your friends, and we've finally been able to kind of really make sure that everything's kind of slick, seamless, immediate, and it's just the whole experience has now really been pulled together nice and tight.
Obviously, we've talked about Driveclub a lot here on IGN. We're big PlayStation people. I don't know if you know that. One of the things you were telling me about that you just started talking about at E3 is weather. And if we're looking here, you can already see some of it, right? Like pools of wetness on the road, stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's not the cool stuff. Behind closed doors, we've been showing actual rain and snow pouring down. Now, it's not just there for, to look good, and it does look great. Yeah. You get reflections on the cars, reflections on the roads, and it looks so real. It's amazing. But the main thing is it changes the gameplay. So it's something that, when you're driving around, it could start off dry, start to get wet, and it will transition the handling, so the cars will, you'll have to be more reactive to the cars.
If there's more snow or more rain on the ground.
Exactly. But one of the cool things as well is that you can send challenges off the back of this as well. So you can kind of roll your own challenge. So you can say, I want to race at midnight in India on this particular track.
Sure.
I want it to start dry, and then by the time it gets to 6 a.m., let's make it rain. So, and then you can send that to someone then as a challenge. So it's just a great way. Yeah, it's just a great way to set up the race how you want it and have it evolve as you're playing. Because nothing in Driveclub is static. We always want to make sure that, whether it's just the simple thing of the clouds moving and the sun rays breaking through to the rain coming through, we want to make sure that everything always feels alive and fresh in Driveclub.
Well, I think that's something that, even just looking at this demo, wow, for some reason you left the cool stuff behind closed doors and brought us this, whatever. You see a little bit, right? Like as you're going through and catching different shadows and reflections, you're getting that feel of like racing at sundown.
Yeah, and if Carl, who's racing this now for us, did another 3 or 4 laps, it would eventually go night. Nighttime as well. And then you'd be driving just by your headlights. So some of the tracks are floodlit, so they are always fully lit.
Sure.
But some have no lights whatsoever, so it's just you and your headlights trying to navigate your way through windy roads at 200 miles an hour.
Even here, it's beautiful, right? This reminds me of a winter's day. Like the sun's setting, you're going through, it's starting to get dark.
Yeah, and you say it's beautiful, but we really are kind of pushing the PlayStation 4 hardware. We think this is going to be, when it comes out in October, the best looking game on the platform. Wow. We really think we're pushing it really hard. And this isn't even the final thing. We're on the home straight, as you said before. We've actually got a few months left of development, and we're making sure that we're refining every single element. In particular, I think the visuals you're going to see, another leap as well.
How do you do that without losing your mind? I feel like at some point I'd have to be like, it's pretty enough, I need to move on.
Oh, no, the guys at our place, they're obsessive with the attention to detail. Yeah. And I know none of them will want to get the game out until it was absolutely perfect. And I think that's what the extra time has allowed us to do. Right. To really kind of polish every little thing. And what we want to do as well is make sure that when we get the game out on disc, that's not the end of the Driveclub experience as well. Oh, wow. We want to make sure that, for the many months afterwards, there'll be new content. Can't say exactly what that's going to be just yet. We're just putting all that together. Sure. But we want to make sure that Driveclub experience kind of sticks around, for many months afterwards.
You're hiding stuff behind closed doors. You won't tell me about the DLC for your unreleased game. Some nerve you got, Paul. But when you're making games this pretty, I think it makes sense. Yeah. So let's say, here we go, night one. Here you race my headlights.
So this is in India, which is a very vibrant and colourful sort of country. This is one of our point-to-point tracks. I think it's like 10 kilometres long. And you'll see, I think this is set to like 60 times, and what that means, it will transition 60 times faster than real life. So you can see it started off dark, the headlights are casting right now. Before you know it, the sun will be coming up, you'll see the clouds will be changing colour. But imagine that, with rain or with snow, and then actually changing the way it actually plays as well.
Yeah. I can imagine that being quite beautiful, and
Yeah.
So here's my thing. How simple is it to share a challenge like that with a friend? Is it as simple as I end it and I'm like, here you go?
Yeah. At the end of every single event, whatever you're doing, whether you're playing offline campaign or racing online, the first option you get is send that challenge.
Okay.
But the thing is, if you forget about it and you're like, oh, I'm still sending that as a challenge, we keep a history of every single race that you've ever done. So
what if I race a lot?
We're all there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. The power of the PlayStation.
And you can flick back through all the races that you played in the past, and you can go, actually, I want to send that as a challenge.
Yeah.
But you can send that to another person, so I can send you that challenge. But if I leave that as an open challenge, you can send that to someone else, and they can send it to someone else. And then it's not just me versus you, it's you versus 10 other people, or 100 people, or 500 people, and that can kind of go viral. And it's kind of the idea that, lots of people get involved. And the cool thing is, the rewards scale as well. So it starts off small, so the rewards are reasonably small.
Yeah.
The more people that get involved, the bigger the prizes are.
Wow,
for being in the top, 2, 3, or maybe even 10, depending on, the number of people in the challenge.
Is there a way, if I wanted to make like an open challenge and share it with the world, like through some kind of code or UPC?
No, but we do have the Driveclub app.
Okay.
Driveclub app is going to be available on iOS and Android day one, and that allows you to create and set up challenges as long as you're hooked up to PSN.
Yeah.
Send that to anyone.
Okay, that'll do. That'll work for me. I want to game the system. Use my Twitter followers to get it out.
Oh man,
then start tumbling it down.
I'll take that idea.
There you go. Because I want the rewards. I want the best rewards possible.
Yeah. And one of the cool things that you talk about rewards is being inside a club. But the thing is that, like, say for example, you're in a club with 5 of your mates.
We're dancing.
You could come to E3 for a few days. They've been playing Driveclub while you've been at home.
Yeah.
While you've been here, sorry. And then you'll end up going home and you'll get rewards for what they've done inside Driveclub.
Now you are speaking my language. Yeah. I get to steal other people's hard work.
Sure.
So how many people can be in a club?
6.
Oh, that's not that many.
No, it's not
that many. So now I got to find around the world the best people, the best 5. Then I join in.
And that's going to happen. Because what you're going to try and find, you'll find elite clubs. People who want to be the best club in the world. And they'll be trying to poach other people's members to be in that.
I don't like this one bit.
Yeah.
Can you only be in one club?
Only one club.
Oh my goodness!
So it's similar to like sports, like football or whatever. If I play for Manchester United, then if someone wants to make me move over to Liverpool, I have to leave that club to go to another club. So it's a big decision. Leave it, and you're
going to make a cutthroat Driveclub out there.
And if you leave your club that has all the rewards, you lose those rewards. So you got to stay in the club. But then again, you might move to another club which has more rewards, and then you'll get access to all of them straight away.
So, then the question becomes for me, are there leaderboards and stuff showing you who the best clubs are
in the world
and who the people are in that club?
Yeah.
There's gonna be a black market for Driveclub players.
It could happen. Yeah.
And look at how happy you are about it. Black markets aren't good. Friends turn it on friends for the best gifts and possible.
Healthy competition.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what it is.
I guess the other part of all this that is sad is that I will never be good enough to be poached. No one will ever poach me.
But no, it's one of the cool. If you've got someone who just likes to play a lot, and they have their own style of playing, they like to drift a lot, or they like to drive a particular track a lot. We've got accolades and awards for just doing those specific things.
Okay.
So they don't have to be the best. They can still contribute by doing what they find fun in Driveclub.
What if you're just like, you're not a good driver, but you're funny and is there a reward for that? Is there any kind of honorary?
Sense of humor?
You host stuff well. And you tweet a lot. No?
Probably not.
Oh, all right.
No.
Well, good enough. What are some of the other benefits of like the clubs in Driveclub? It's something that I feel like, that was one of the big things we talked about in the very, very beginning of Driveclub, right at the debut. And since then, we've gotten hung up on how beautiful it is and all this other stuff. Like, what do people need to know about Driveclub? What does it separate it from the other competition, the other races?
Well, it's something. Obviously, we talked about all the cool visuals, clubs, challenges, etc. I guess one of the big things we don't really talk about is just the immediacy of the whole game. We try to make sure that everything about it is like second to second you're doing something new and fresh. We always want to make sure it's kind of updated continually. So when you're racing, we're putting face-offs into the world dynamically and giving you new things to do.
Okay.
But when you come out of a race, we'll be pushing suggested challenges to you. So it's this idea of it always feels alive, it always feels fresh. And whenever you're moving back and forth between the kind of dynamic menu, which is kind of our social hub, into the race, it's all quick and seamless. We want to make sure that you don't ever think, I'm going to wait a few more minutes for the next race. It's like bang, you're in the next one. Bang,
If I was in this race right now and we were connected to PlayStation 4 and everything was up and running, would it be popping up challenges for me on this, or would it be that I'd finish and then I'd have a whole flood of things that have happened?
We do a mixture. Because it's so difficult to get it right. Because say you've got 1,000 connections in Driveclub. You don't want every few seconds a new message and notification appearing on your screen when you're racing.
Right.
So we try to make sure we only kind of push the ones that are really relevant to you at the time during the race.
Gotcha.
And then what we do, when you're in the menus, we filter all of our activity streams based upon where you are. So if you're in the tour, you get filtered activities to that area. Or if you're in challenges, you get filtered things. But you've also got the activity feed by pressing triangle. That brings up your tailored activity feed, which tells you things that you really need to know as well.
Gotcha.
And also inside there, we've got a thing called Session Manager. It sounds pretty boring, but it's actually really cool. It's basically like an always-on party, and any one of your friends can kind of jump into that. Now, if I jump into an online race, it will then notify that friend who's in my session to go, oh, Rush has gone to play an online race, do you want to join him? And it will pull that person into my online race straight away.
Gosh,
so it's a great and easy way for your friends or your club mates to all get together and play online.
Okay. Now, while you've been talking, I've been getting lost in your game's eyes.
Yes.
I keep seeing stuff up there, drifting plus 200, collision minus, right there, drafting.
Yes.
What are these points adding up to? What are we building?
They're called overdrives. Okay. And basically, every action you do, drifting, drafting, overtaking, colliding, always earns fame, or even actually takes away a bit of fame if you're trying to smash into other people. We're trying, not too heavily, but just a little bit. And they contribute towards your fame. Fame is like, not the currency, but your experience in Driveclub.
Gotcha.
So that contributes towards your driver level. Your driver level unlocks new cars. It unlocks new customization assets to customize your cars. And it also contributes towards your club level. So every bit of fame you earn, every bit of fame that your club members earn, all contributes to one big pot and unlocks things when you're...
Now, can I take away from that? Because I'm going to be getting a lot of negative 200 vehicle impacts.
No, you can never...
Thank goodness. No one will put me in their drive club if I'm losing their points.
No, you can get 0.
That's fine.
But you can never get negative.
That's fine. Yeah. I don't mind being the respectable 0. Funny, jovial tweet and drag over there, driving the best he can, but he's not doing too hot. There you go. Look at the damage on it, too.
Yeah, we do a lot of sort of stuff.
I'm going to have a lot more damage than that, I bet.
Damage doesn't affect performance. We don't want to punish people who make mistakes. You always drive along at the same speed.
Thank you for not punishing me.
Yeah.
Because I will be the one making all the mistakes, I guarantee.
Yeah. Do you play on the pad or you play on the wheel?
Oh, no, I play on the control. I play on the pad,
shame. We just announced a new wheel with Thrustmasters today as well.
Well, if you send me one, maybe I'll play it with... No, it's like... That's the thing. I feel like if I'm to buy the wheel, I feel like I am making a statement that I am excellent at racing games. And we all will soon know, people in my drive club, that is not the case.
It's the best way to learn how to drive in real life. If you pick up Driveclub with a wheel, all those skills will transfer to the real world.
I'm pretty good at parallel parking my girlfriend's Mini Cooper.
Not much of that in Driveclub.
That'd be easy Mini Cooper points if you had that in there.
That sounds like a fun challenge though, parallel parking.
Yeah. DLC. There you go. Another freebie.
I'll steal that
Toss it right up there. You're welcome.
Keep throwing ideas over.
Hey, you know what? I'm a giver. I want you to have all of my ideas.
I should give you my email.
I'm just going to say Ecto1. Ecto1 would be a good car to put in there.
Man. Yeah.
She don't handle well.
It would be pretty slow. It might be left in the back of the pack. It might be able to compete with one of the slower cars inside the game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like what the Fred Flintstone one where you move your feet and drive it that way? How many cars are in the game for all the the
50.
50 cars.
Yeah, we've got like a variety of cars, everything from hot hatch to sports, performance, to super, to hyper. So we think we've got like a really good broad range of cars.
Yeah.
The one thing we wanted to do, because we chose these 50 specific cars, is make sure that every single one was modelled in, immaculate detail. Every single car we got hold of personally, took down to the track. We recorded the audio inside and out. And when we've been lucky enough, we've been able to drive them as well. So we could, try and capture the characteristics, the essence of how the cars feel.
All these excuses you said to drive the world's most awesome cars. Like, we need to capture the essence of it.
Yeah.
I need to know how the steering wheel feels. Exactly. Yeah. So now, we talked earlier, you're in the home stretch here. October's coming up pretty quick.
Round the corner.
You're polishing, tweaking. What does all that mean? On a day-to-day basis, what's happening at the studio?
Well, day-to-day basis, obviously we're fixing bugs in the background.
Yeah.
The guys who are lucky enough to have a little bit of time to do a bit of polishing, we've got like our art director at the moment, and what he's doing, he's kind of implementing a few new kind of visual effects like depth of field. So things are a little bit blurry in the distance. He's also been looking at, I think now, the specular reflections we've got in our weather, so everything reflects properly in the puddles and stuff when it gets wet. And also, one of the cool things he's been doing is obviously working on weather. He makes sure that the individual particles of rain or snow get lit independently by the car's headlights.
You guys have too much time on your hands. You have too much time on your hands. You're getting the snowflakes to get it all.
But these are the cool things you get to the end of the project. Once everything else is in good shape, you just get time to just like refine everything. So like every car's getting the handling pass and making sure we've got everything just right in terms of 0 to 60s, top speeds, and the right balance. It's just the luxury of time now.
Well, Paul, it looks great. Yeah. When's it coming out in October again?
October 7th.
On what PlayStation platform?
PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Woo! Yeah. Thank you so much for coming by.
No,
it looks great. I'm so happy it's finally coming out for you.
Cheers.
You've done well.
It's been a long day.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long day, and the first day of E3 is over, but do not fret. You still have IGN's E3 Live Show 2014 coming to you on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, you might ask yourself, what's coming up on Wednesday? A whole bunch of awesome games that include Borderlands the pre-sequel and both Super Smash Brothers. That's right! DS and Wii U. I can guarantee Tim Geddes will be here, and he will be flipping out. Remember, we need you to be part of the show, though. Watch tomorrow. Watch on Thursday. You should probably just keep coming back to IGN every day. Tweet at IGN, hashtag E3 2014, and have an excellent evening. Or morning if you're in a weird country.
Yep. It is morning now for me. Yep.